everyone, Sandy here from Creative Discovery in PaintShop Pro, and welcome to my channel. If you are new here, please hit the subscribe button in the bottom right hand corner and you'll be able to find your way back quite easily. Now this is a new segment starting today with this first tutorial, and you will find all my tutorials now under the playlist of tutorials. So this will be number 1. It is an intermediate level tutorial. There are no plugins used, and there is a zip file. The zip file is on the website and there is a link to it in the description box below. In this zip file you will find a background image of trees. There are 2 PSP images, one of a lady in a green hat and the other one is of word art. The 4th thing in the zip file is a mask. Now you need to place that into the folder where you keep your masks. Okay, once you have everything organized, open up PaintShop Pro and I'll see you there for the tutorial. Here is a little preview of what we are going to be making in this tutorial. Now once you have unzipped your supplies and placed them into the folders where you store all your goodies, you need to then open these 3 images, the lady, the trees and the text. Duplicate them and then close the originals. I have already done that. Now we need to choose colours from this image with the lady for the foreground and background box. I'm going to choose a light colour, and for my foreground box, C0CCBB. So that's a pale light green from somewhere over here. Click OK and that goes into your foreground box. Now for your background box we're going to choose a darker colour, and I have chosen 657D5A. Open a new transparent image 500 by 400 with a raster background, and we are going to then flood fill this with the light colour. Now we're going to apply blinds to this. Now if you don't have a blinds icon, I have icons on the top here. You'll need to go to Effects, Texture Effects, Blinds. You're going to use the settings of 2 in the width, 100 in the opacity, and both of these boxes will be ticked. And your colour is your background colour, so right click there and choose your background colour. Click OK. Add a new raster layer to that, and then we're going to select all. Now you can hold Control A and then you'll have the running ants around the lot. I also have an icon for that, or you can go to selections, select all. Now we need the background image of the trees here. We're going to copy and paste it into the selection. Now change the blend mode over here in your layers palette to luminance, and then lower the opacity to 60. Now to do that you can right click and go to properties and change the opacity to 60. Then deselect that, Control D, add another new raster layer. We're going to now flood fill that with white, so place white in your foreground box and flood fill that, and then we're going to load mask from disk. If you have icons on your toolbar that you've put there yourself and have this one which is load mask from disk, you can press that. Otherwise you need to go to Layers, Load Save Mask and Load Mask from Disk. Now you're going to search for the mask that was in the zip file. The name of the mask is GERTJE_24. This one here is what it looks like. You're going to have source luminance selected over here. It's going to be fit to canvas. You're going to have hide all mask selected. Invert transparency is not selected, and then click load. Then we are going to merge the layers. Now if you have an icon over here you can click on that. This is the merge layer group, or you go to layers, merge and merge group. Now we're going to apply a drop shadow Again, I have icons for all of these things. Drop shadow is in Effects, 3D Effects, Drop Shadow. The settings we're going to use are vertical and horizontal 1, opacity 100, blur 0, color black, and shadow on new layer is not ticked, and click OK. Bring up the image of the lady. We're going to copy and paste her as a new layer. We're going to move her down one layer so she's sitting between the trees and the mask. We're going to resize by 75%. Resize all layers must be unticked, and then you're going to sharpen that once. Now grab your move tool and you're going to move her over here into the corner so these edges here cannot be seen. So you want to put her over there so we cannot see those edges. Now we're going to apply a drop shadow. The settings we're going to use are -10 in both the vertical and horizontal, opacity of 50, blur of 10, color black, and again this is unticked, and click OK. Now with the freehand selection lasso selected, the selection type we're going to use is point to point. We're going to use replace, 0 feather. We're going to bring the smoothing right back to 0 also. Maybe just put it on 2. And anti-alias ticked. Now we're going to start at the top. It doesn't have to be exactly at the top, it will work fine. Click and then down. We're going to go between this leaf and her hand to the top of the mask. Go across to the edge of the little loop, then go around the little loopy thing. Then go over to the next part, follow that around, then go up, go around this little loopy part, and then go across to the side, straight up to the top corner. You can actually hold it off the edge and that will keep it on the actual edge. Go across to here and then double click and it will join up. So if you can see where I've selected, take small movements around these little things. The lady is what we have selected, so right click on that layer and promote selection to layer. Move the promoted selection to the top and then deselect. Now bring up your word art. Okay, now check in the layer palette for the one that you would like to use. I'm going to use layer 4, which says Stand By Me. So I'm going to copy that and paste it as a new layer. Resize that to 85% and sharpen it once. Now change the blend mode to Luminance Legacy and move the word art into a position, and we're going to grab the move tool and just move it over here about there. Now we're going to add some borders. Now I have icons for my borders, but otherwise go to Image, Add Border. So you're going to add a border of 2 pixels in your darker color. Now I need to put my lighter color back into the foreground box. We're going to add a border of 2 pixels with your lighter green. Then we're going to add another border of 5 pixels in white. Going to add a border of 2 pixels in your light color, light green. Then another 2 pixels in the dark green. Then we're going to select all. I have an icon for that, or Control A. Then we're going to contract that selection by the total number of our borders, which came to 13. I have a contract selection icon again. If not, you need to go to Selections, Modify, Contract, and then click on that and put 13 into this box here and click OK. Then we're going to apply a cutout. Again, I have icons for all of these things I use regularly. If you don't have it, you go to Effects, 3D Effects, Cutout. Now we're going to apply a cutout of 5 in the vertical and the horizontal. You're going to have the shadow color of black. The opacity will be 50 and the blur will be 15. This box will be unticked and then click OK. You're going to reapply that cutout and you're going to place a negative in both the vertical and the horizontal and then click OK. Now we're going to invert that selection. If you have this, you can click on that, or you go to Selections, Invert. Then we're going to apply an inner bevel. Now again, if you don't have icons, you go Effects, 3D Effects, Inner Bevel. The settings we're going to use for the inner bevel are bevel number 6, width of 3, smoothness of 5, depth 4, ambience 8, shininess 40, color white, angle 315, intensity 30, elevation 50. Deselect that. Okay, then you can add your watermark if you like. I use mine as a picture tube and I'm going to place it here. I will change the blend mode on this to hard light and I will lower the opacity to about 50 and shift it down to about there. And then you merge all because you've got 2 layers there and then you're finished. Well, I hope you really enjoyed that one, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. Now, next Thursday there will be another tutorial, and on Tuesday there will be a tip. So 2 things each week, Tuesday tips and Thursday tutorials at this stage. Now, if you are a beginner and you wish to learn this program, you really don't know what you're doing with it, we do have a course. The course is over on a website and the forum, and there is a link to the website in the description box below. You can check that out and find out a little bit more about it there. If you do have any more questions, certainly send me an email and I will answer them for you, or ask your questions down below and I'll answer them there. Okay, so have fun with that tutorial, and until I see you next week, bye for now.